like it knows me. It knows where my eyes are. It knows where my eyes. It knows where my eyes are. How you make a movie, okay? I just gotta tell you some stuff about how you make a movie, okay? You come up with something, a good thing, okay? You really want someone to to feel it. You want to feel it so that you feel it. You feel it so that they feel it. Okay? Do you know what I mean? And then you get something to put it on so that other people can watch it at a later time. It's really ephemeral because really what you're doing is you're creating nothing, and yet it's the artifact of something that happened that you can never get again. Yeah, you could make copies of it, but it's not the same thing. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, so sometimes it's my life. All right, and that's what I want to tell you is sometimes it's my life. There are certain things that you're allowed to tell people about your life. That people are like, wow, he's really opening up like a little flower. But it's like Robert McKee says, it's a California scene. You've got those things in your pocket. Those things in your pocket that seem like really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like really vulnerable. That's what it is. It's really vulnerable. People, wow, he's sharing so much about his life. What brave. Okay, but those are things in your pocket. Why is my hand shaking? It's because I've got my shoulder up like this. I gotta just relax. Drop your shoulders, dude. Drop your shoulders, dude. So it's a movie, okay, and I'm making it with my friends, okay? And it's gonna be in a car, okay? We're gonna drive, okay? It's about a real story, okay? It's about a real true crime story about how my kid's bookmark business was the victim of a thief who was taking the bookmarks out of the envelope and replacing it with air freshener. I was gonna say air fresheners, but it only happened once. But once is enough, man. Okay. What's the deal? They said, what's the deal with this guy? It's like, what's the deal with you? Like, okay, I don't have to be so defensive about it, but can a guy just do stuff? All right. So anyway, I need $1 million or $1,700 buck. I did so it's $1,700. Okay, so that I can pay the rent. Okay, so that's fine. Do what you need to do. Okay, take two. I'm gonna. Can you see this? I don't think I'm gonna be able to hold my arm out this much, but it's the view that I want. It's the view that I want. Hey, I got you at arm's length to tell you a story. It's a story about a little boy, okay? And he went into the forest. He made 3 wishes, and the squirrel said, "I will grant you 3 wishes." And the boy says, "I already made the 3 wishes." And the squirrel says, "Yeah, I heard that, and I thought I could be the person to grant you those 3 wishes." And the boy's like, "Well, you weren't really what I had in mind, but like if I wanted nuts, I'd go to the store." The squirrel's like, "Okay, funny. Good job. I guess you don't need my help then?" And the boy's like, "No, no, 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 no." I'm like, okay, you can grant me 3 wishes, but like, what way are you gonna try and trick me so that I become trapped in a tree or something? You know what I mean? I become nuts. You turn me into a pile of nuts. This girl's like, "No, no, I'm not like that. I'll help grant you 3 wishes. Well, one is I want a standing deck. I want a standing deck so that my backyard doesn't look like crap anymore." And the squirrel said, "As a child, that's what you want?" And the child was like, "Yes." The squirrel's like, "Fine." So in the night, okay, a phalanx of squirrels came from the forest with lumber and tools, tiny tools, okay? But they knew a lot about wood and how to speak to it, how to whisper to the wood, okay? So that they could make the wood do what they want because they've lived in the wood all their life, okay? It's not so much they want, it's a two-way relationship. The wood wants to do it too, or sometimes you have to convince the wood that it's the wood's idea. Nevertheless, the standing deck was completed in 3 weeks. And the kid was like, 3 weeks? I thought magical wishes like were overnight. And the squirrel's like, that's not very kind of you. Okay? in an amicable way, you say thank you. And the kid's like, but it's magic. And the squirrel, I didn't say anything about magic. I said I would grant you 3 wishes through the blood, sweat, and tears of me and my friends. Okay, my compatriots helped you have a standing deck. You're going to complain about it? So then he turned him into a pile of nuts. Okay, this is the story 2. The 2 wishes were never found again. This is another story, okay? Okay. The child walks into a forest and he steps on a rock so that he gets a better vantage point on the path ahead. And the lichen says, hey, watch it, okay? You're scraping me off. I've worked really hard to get on this rock. Do you know what grows on a rock? Nothing. Except for me, lichen. Okay? And it's technically not the... Well, I guess technically it is growing on the rock. I was going to say like there was a smattering of dirt on it. And that the lichen kind of grabbed onto it like it was like a mountain climber. And then grew from there. But maybe the lichen has mighty roots, okay? That reach into the rock, okay? Like a jackhammer, but slower, like a slow hammer, like a slow jack, like a slow jackhammer. Okay, that lichen just kind of works its way in there slowly over time. Whew! It's getting a little hot in here, guys. All right, so anyway, but it's a children's story. Oh man. Okay, look. I didn't mean to sexualize the lichen growing on the rock in the context I was telling a children's story, okay? So just never mind. That can be an adult story for another time. Okay, so the kid is stepping on the lichen, and the liken's like, hey, man, okay. And the kid's like, sorry, I'm going to scrape you off and take you home. And the liken's like, don't do it, because I don't want to live in your terrarium. I know what happens to your terrarium. I've seen your snails. And the kid's like, how could you see my snails? Because of spores, man. My spores fly all over the place, and the mushroom network tells me. Well, decide what it is. Is it your spores, or is it the mushroom network? And the liken's like, you're pretty lippy for a kid. And the kid's like, look, okay, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I know what's up. It was the mushroom network. I wanted to personalize my spores so it seemed like I had more of an immediate reaction to you. I mean, a direct result of myself. I mean, I was more directly involved. The mushroom network suggests an indirect involvement, and I wanted to suggest a direct involvement. And the kid's like, you don't have to talk to yourself like that. I love you for who you are. And the liken's like, what? You don't have to make yourself bigger or more important through semantics, says the child. And the liken's like, I never thought of it like that before. The kid's like, I'll leave you all alone. I'm sorry. I try to gather everything like I want to collect it. And the lichen says, haven't your parents taught you respect for the nature? And he says, no, I think they kind of try, but they don't really do it themselves. And I'm more into like following modeled behavior instead of being told what to do. And the liken's like, wow, that must really annoy your dad. And okay, I'm the dad, okay? I'm the dad. So I made it all about me. Okay, take 3. The lichen. The lycanthrope. Have you ever seen a werewolf? This is the short story collection called Have You Ever Seen a Werewolf and Other Stories, okay? Have you ever seen a werewolf? That bloodlust, man. That bloody bloodlust. They can't help it, but they want that raw meat. And it's like they want that blood. And the vampire kingdom also wants that blood. And why are the werewolves and the vampires always fighting? Because really what they do want is blood. They each love a favorite food. It happens to be the same food. If you were fighting with someone, okay, and they also liked hamburgers and you liked hamburgers, you said, wait a minute, let's stop fighting and go get a burger. So that's what they did. They went to a burger place. They went and got the rarest burger they could find. They sat out on the patio with burgers. I'm like, just give me raw burgers in a bun. And the guy behind the counter said, I'm not going to argue with you about that, but I'm still charging you $13. Do you want cheese? And the werewolf was like, is it real cheese or is it processed cheese? Because I only eat processed cheese. And the vampire was like, what? The werewolf was like, don't worry about it. I got it. No, no, no. It's not that. Okay. Sure, pay for my burger, but what's this about processed cheese? And you know what? It could have cracked apart right then and there. But the werewolf said, look at that burger, man. Look at the blood in it that we're not going to get cooked out. Okay? Yeah, you like real cheese and I like processed cheese, but think about this. It's still cheese at the end of the day. From cheese it was beget, and from cheese it will return. The vampire's like, you're right. I was so ready to fight you again over our preferences of cheese that I forgot about our truce of the bloody burgers. And they had those bloody burgers on that patio, and everyone kind of like went away except for a few stragglers who got hypnotized by the vampires, so they sucked their blood, and it's not for like it's they suck it, but if they don't want you to be a vampire, then they'll just eat you as well. They'll eat your head. I'm sorry, but like in the good news, it was a truce between two warring factions who realized they had more in common than they had realized. Well, they only had one thing in common, but I'm sure they had other things in common too, like musical tastes. Do you like Oklahoma or the Music Man? Oh, that's a good segue. Take 4. Okay, I'm talking about trouble. Okay, right here in River City, I'm talking about it. It rhymes with P, and it stands for P, and that stands for pool. Okay, stands for pool. You don't want people going down to the pool hall doing what they want and drinking and smoking, okay, and fucking and doing whatever they want. You want a good brass band. You need a good brass band. Jesus brought you a good brass band so that you knew what to do with your energy. You blow it in the tuba. Blow it, blow it, blow it. Blow it in the tuba. Blow it in the tuba. Blow it in the trumpet. Blow it in the oboe. Take that big fat oboe and blow it. You got the energy. You just know it, okay? Oh my god, that was like a rap. I'm sorry. Take 5. If you ever wanted to help someone make a movie, okay? You don't have any money. You only got $20. But why don't you give it to me? You know what? I found $5 the other day on the floor. It was the ground, but I said floor. And sure, it was on a lawn, okay? Now, was it on somebody's lawn? Okay, it was in between two houses on the lawn, okay? It was in between two houses. It could have been any of those two houses. A house against itself cannot stand. And if these two houses came out at the same time, and each of those people found the $5, you know what would happen? Animosity. So I took the $5 and I put it in my pocket for my emergencies, for when the ice cream truck shows up and your kid's like, the ice cream truck. Shouldn't say it like that. He's very sweet. He's like, the ice cream truck, man, we gotta go. Oh, man. Now you got the $5. You can buy a single freezy. See, because our grandpa goes to Costco, and Costco's not super cheap, but it's cheaper than the normal store. And then he marks up whatever it is. My shoulder, oh, God. He marks up whatever it is and makes a nice little retirement income. Okay? And say, yeah, you could say you go to Costco for dilly bars, but that would be Dairy Queen. Okay? And I forgot that Buster Bars had fudge in them until I discovered that they did. And what a pleasant surprise that was. So I found the $5 I put in my pocket. Now, what if you pretended you had $5? You know what? If you don't have $5, tell someone who has $5. Okay, take 6. Do you have $5 in a job? Not to suggest that if anyone doesn't have $5, they don't have a job. There's quite a lot of working poor, okay? It's called the working poor. We're doing everything we can. Okay, you're telling us it's our fault somehow. We're doing everything we can. We're working the job. Okay, we got a car. Okay, we're putting gas in it. Okay, we're trying to do the shopping as much as we can. Okay, but we don't have any money. Okay? And you're like, well, you're spending it too much on lattes. I was like, dude, if a latte is the difference between me being in a house and me being not in a house, then there's a bigger problem than lattes. And it's not because I don't have a job, because I do. But take 7. If you don't have a job, okay, it's all right. I didn't have a job for a really long time, and I went to the library and I read books about alien abduction. I don't suggest you do it, okay? Because then it turns night and you think the gray with their big eyes are standing. Okay, first of all, I know not one walked really in the door, okay? But then I went upstairs, or I went up. Okay, it was a basement apartment, and I went up the stairs. And then once you're at the top of the stairs, you're level with the ground because it's a basement. Okay, and out of the garbage can, there was a silhouette. Okay, behind the garbage cans, and I know I was making it up because if it's real, you don't even have time to think about it. But it was still okay. It was still unnerving. And the only way I could get through it was to call my friend who had an 8-hour time difference. So he's just eating his breakfast, and I'm like, "There's aliens, man." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, you're gonna be fine. Okay, take 8." I think the target audience for asking for money is people who already have it, like who have some extra. Not you. Okay, you don't have any extra. But if you've got like an aunt who's got an extra $5, why don't you? Well, she's not gonna. It's not probably her thing. A guy in a microphone talking, but that's not what the movie is. It's me and 2 friends. I was gonna say 3, but I'm included. It's 3 guys in a car going to Kelowna to find out who stole bookmarks from the bookmark business of his son. Okay, he makes a deal with Ogopogo. I know that. Ogopogo is tricky. We don't know if Ogopogo is an expression of another etheric being or if it's actually a plesiosaur, a highly intelligent plesiosaur. I'm kind of leaning towards the first way because narratively it gives me more options. Or is that just lazy writing? Anyway, go to Kelowna to find out, okay? And then we have to go into the Boston Pizza. So we're not actually going to go into a Boston Pizza. It's going to be called Boston Pizza B-Roll. And I just licked the microphone. It was an accident. So your aunt, well, just tell your aunt that it's like supporting the arts. Take 9. Okay, take 9. Do you want me to sing you happy birthday? I got to get a cameo. Take 10. You know what I appreciate about that cameo is that Armando did it at the airport. He didn't put it off. Okay, he did it right away. When the request came in, he did it. And then also the other cameo with Andre and Elizabeth. Okay, they provided quality entertainment at a reasonable price for an extended period of time. And the request was, get the fuck out of my birthday house. Because that was one of my favorite quotes that ever happened. And they did it. They were a little embarrassed about it, but they shouldn't be embarrassed about it. They were speaking from anger. Wait a minute. Okay, anger is not always the best thing to speak from because people get hurt, but you can harness that energy for something else. You could shoot it into the earth, and maybe the earth will like shoot something back up at you through your butt that's transformed in a way, and then you can use that energy to do as you will. Have a coffee, go on a run, write your novel, go on a march, okay? Make a protest sign. You're protected from the earth. I mean, not from the earth. You're protected by the earth. Go with some friends. Hold hands and don't let go. Take 11. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Okay? You're everything I would like to be. Okay? I can fly higher than an eagle because you are the wind beneath my wings. Good luck. It's just a pleasure to be nominated. I mean, it's an honor. Take 12. A baker's dozen is actually 13. You know why? Because the baker always messed one up. He's like, oh, no, it's like overweight tea. Okay, so that store called Overweight Tea, because the guy would give you more tea than you paid for as a little, like, thanks for shopping. Okay, and that's kind of like the baker's dozen, okay? I'm going to throw in a little extra bun for you, okay? Throw in a bun for me. I'll throw one in your bun. Take 13. Have you ever made a movie? Do you want to make a movie? Don't make my movie. I mean our movie. It's a collaborative experience, okay? I really got to harness it in that ego and channel it towards something more collaborative. Otherwise, it's just the same thing as me standing here by myself, okay? I really want it to be something different, okay? Like 3 or 4 energies coming together to make a sum that's greater than its parts, okay? And if we can get a bouncy castle, yeah, but it would be a scary bouncy castle because you would put it in the dark. Bounce around in the dark, not knowing what was happening, pretending it was Ogopogo. I think that sounds like a pretty good thing. Think about it. 3 guys in masks and costumes, okay? I'm not admitting anything, but you can see with your eyes, okay? In a dark, bouncy castle in the middle of a field in the night. Someone's coming.